everyone, today I have a review for you of the new Urban Decay Electric palette. I was so excited when I first saw a teaser for this palette. I think it was a few months ago at least. It was like only one person on Instagram had posted about it and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to have this palette. So when it came out I was so excited. It's 10 shades and they're all brights, which is so wonderful. As much as I love the naked trend, the naked palettes, and all of the other naked products that Urban Decay has been releasing, I love bright makeup. I love neutral makeup, but I love bright makeup. It's just always so much fun, so creative. I love seeing how different colors play together. So I was so excited when this first came out. So I'll show you what the palette looks like. So it looks like this, and you can see me in there. Let's get rid of that. So there are 10 colors. 8 of these colors are new, and 2 of them are like re-promotes from old palettes. This one up here called Revolt, this silver color, was from one of the face cases. I think it's the Shattered face case, or maybe it was the Anarchy one, I don't really remember, but this was in one of the face cases they released over Christmas time, over the holidays. And then this one, Chaos, was from the original Vice 1 palette, which I don't have, so I'm really glad to be able to have this shade here. And the rest of them are new. Now, something to mention is Urban Decay is selling this as a pressed pigment palette because 4 of these 10 shades are not FDA approved, eye safe in the US. The 4 colors that are not approved in the US are approved in Europe and Canada, and I know definitely those 2 places, but I'm not sure where else. So you can use them as eyeshadows in those countries, but in the US they're not recommended for use in the immediate eye area. And it's because of a colorant that they have used. The 4 shades that are not eye safe in the US are Slow Burn, Savage, Jilted, and Urban, and I think that's because there's like red dyes, I think, used in them, and some people are sensitive to those. They also tend to stain really badly. I don't know too much about the chemistry of makeup and the colorants and how they react with, you know, your body and your skin, so I'm probably not the best source on that, but I will say I have very sensitive eyes. A lot of products stain me really badly and a lot of products irritate my eyes, and I have had slight irritation with these shades. The one that irritates me most is Slow Burn, which is this color here. I haven't noticed that much irritation with Urban and Jilted, a little bit with Savage though. But you know what? It's really not that bad. I'll still continue to use them. I've noticed that the irritation is the worst when I use these colors on my lower lash line. I think that's probably because that's where they're the closest to my eye. But on the lid, they really are very, very, very mildly irritating. On the lid, they're maybe a tiny bit more than like regular eyeshadows that are FDA approved that irritate my eyes, if you know what I mean by that. So I don't know. I was really disappointed when I found out that 4 of these shades aren't eye safe in the US because it is expensive. This is a $49 palette, and of the 10 shades, 4 of them aren't safe for use in the eye area. And I mean, honestly, what else besides eyeshadow are you going to use these shades for? I guess you could use them as blush, but they're super pigmented, and I don't know, you could also use them for like a Halloween makeup look, but who wants to buy a $49 palette just to use like a couple shades for Halloween? Do you know what I mean? I will continue to use the 4 shades that are not eye safe on my eyes because the irritation has not been that bad that, you know, I'm going to want to stop using them. I'll probably try to avoid using them on the lower lash line because, like I said, that's where it irritates me the most, which, I mean, it kind of sucks, but you know what? I really do love these colors. They're all so beautiful, so it's kind of worth it to me to keep using them, at least on my lids. They're beautiful, beautiful eyeshadows. In my look today, I used Slow Burn, Gonzo, Fringe, Chaos, and Revolt. So basically, I'm in love with this palette. It does suck that there are 4 shades in here that aren't eye safe in the US. They are approved in other countries though, so I mean, you know, take what you want away from that. I really can't recommend that you use them on the eyes or you don't use them on the eyes or whatever. That's a personal decision, so it's really up to you whether or not you want to chance it or if you want to just stick with the shades in the palette that are eye safe. It's totally up to you. I will continue to use them on my eyes unless further irritation occurs. Another thing I wanted to say is I've seen pictures of people who have used shades from this palette who have horrible, horrible staining on their eyes. I haven't experienced that, which is bizarre because usually eyeshadows stain me really badly, especially pinks. I've noticed a small amount of staining with Slow Burn and Urban, especially, which I was surprised about. I thought that Savage would probably stain me really badly, but it didn't. So I don't know what's up with that, because normally I do get staining really, really bad when I use red and pink eyeshadows, sometimes purple, but mostly red and pink eyeshadows tend to stain me really, really bad, but I haven't had that problem, which I was really surprised about, even if after I wore them for a long time. Something that I did want to mention is that my eyes are pretty sensitive, so after I wear makeup for like 10, 11, 12 hours, my eyes start to get really, really irritated, and I need to take my makeup off. It's really annoying. So with the 4 that are not eye safe, I find that the time between when I first put it on and when my eyes start getting irritated is definitely shorter. Okay, so my battery just died, and I went to go plug it in for a few minutes, and it's probably going to die again, so let me finish talking about this. What I was saying before is that normally my eyes do get irritated after I wear makeup for a long time. I think that's a pretty common thing. With this, the time is definitely shorter. With the shades that are not eye safe, usually when I've been wearing these, I start to get kind of irritation after like 7 or 8 hours, where I have to take my makeup off because it just gets uncomfortable. I mean, I could probably wear them for longer, but I usually don't need to wear makeup longer than like 8 hours. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But other than that, I love this palette. I mean, it's so beautiful. I'll definitely get a lot of use out of this. I mean, it's just so gorgeous. Favorite shades of mine are definitely this one called Thrash. What else? I really like Slow Burn, even though it's not eye safe. Fringe is also really nice. Freak is nice. They're all really nice. I really love them all. The only shade in here that I'm not crazy about is the silver called Revolt. I don't really think it has a place in this palette. I mean, it's been kind of nice for me to kind of be like, oh, how can I use this silver color with all these bright, crazy colors? So it's been kind of fun, but I really think that it really doesn't fit that well into the theme of this palette. I mean, even the packaging of this palette, which is beautiful, by the way, you see all these different colors, but there's not a silver color in the packaging. So I feel like that kind of speaks to how little this fits in with the palette. And I don't know, so I would rather have had another color there. Maybe like a bright yellow or something. This is kind of, I mean, kind of sometimes will look yellow when you're wearing it, but it's more of like a chartreuse green leaning type of yellow. So maybe like a bright yellow would have been nice. A red would have been great. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm really not sure why they put this one in here, because I don't really think it fits very well. But overall, I really do like this palette. I'm so glad that I bought it. Even though the 4 shades aren't eye safe, I will continue to use them on the eyes, because I haven't had that much of a problem. But I mean, as far as those shades go, it's really up to you whether or not you want to chance it or not. If you're really, really sensitive to things with colorants, red colorants in them, or if you have really sensitive eyes in general, then maybe it wouldn't be, you know, the best way to go. I forgot to talk about the brush that's in here, which I really, really like. It has beautiful, it's a dual-ended brush that has beautiful purple bristles, and you have a flat shader brush and then like a small smudger eyeliner type brush, which I really, really like. I'm not normally that big of a fan of the brushes that Urban Decay puts in their palettes. I don't know why, I just don't use them a lot, but I've been really using this one a lot. I think it's great, and I think it works well with, you know, the way the palette is and the colors. Like, you can kind of use this for your lid and then smudge one of the colors under your lash line for like a pop of color. I think it just works really well, so I really do like this brush that they included. As far as whether or not I recommend this palette for you to buy, I think it really depends on what you're looking for in a palette. Obviously, if you don't like bright colors, this is not going to be worth it for you. If you're not going to plan on using the 4 shades that are not eye safe in the US, then I would question whether or not the value is here, because like I said, it is expensive. It's a $49 palette, so if you're not going to use 4 of the 10 shades, then that's kind of, I don't know, it's for you to decide. If you really love one of the other colors, of course, you know, then go for it. It's totally up to you. So, I don't know, I really love this palette. Don't get me wrong, I know I've been talking a lot about the negatives about it, but I just wanted to be clear about my feelings about, you know, the 4 that aren't eye safe, because I know that's caused quite a stir. And, you know, I do agree that it kind of sucks that Urban Decay is selling this pressed pigment palette, but it's really an eyeshadow palette, and 4 of the colors aren't eye safe out of the 10, and it is expensive to begin with. So, I don't know, I'm not too much a fan of how Urban Decay kind of sneakily did that. And of course, you know, up until bloggers were reviewing this, there was, at least I hadn't heard any mention of the 4th shades not being eye safe. So I think that was kind of sneaky how they did that. I mean, but that's business, right? So I don't know. I really do love this palette. I will definitely use it a lot, especially now that it's the springtime and it's getting warmer out, and in summer these would just be beautiful. Even if you're not a huge fan of color, but you kind of want to experiment with some color, and you want to invest the money because you know you're going to be using color in the future, I think this is a great way to go. I think it would look amazing with just one of these colors, with a neutral eye, one of these colors popped on the lower lash line. I think it would look great. So overall, I really, really love this palette. I would recommend you purchase it, but like I said, make sure you're clear on what you're wanting from this palette before you do purchase it, because it is a lot of money. So that's my review. I'll have a blog post about this with swatches and everything on my blog, which I'll link down below. I will also link down below my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Facebook. You can follow me on all of those social media sites if you want. Also, if you like this video, please take a second to subscribe. It would mean so much to me. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!